Welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
I'm Candace.
I'm Lariah.
And I'm Lacey. Grab a drink and come hang with us at the Hangar Bar. Hey friends, welcome back to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. You are here once again with the entire Hangar Bar crew. Woohoo! Yay! And another thing that we are celebrating, besides the fact that we are all together again, is that we have crossed a milestone thanks to you. We have crossed our 3,000th listen since we started the podcast a little over 3 seasons ago. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing us with your friends. Thank you for your continued support. All the thank you things.
Y'all are rock stars.
Yes, you rock our world. Today's episode, we are going to be discussing reimagination. And what that means in Disney speak is basically refurbishment. The re-theming, redoing, redesigning, all the things for attractions, shows, lands, foods, all the things. So you name it, they can reimagine it. So, with that said, we are going to talk about the things that we think need to be reimagined and how we would like to see them reimagined.
Before we do that, though, a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, audio quality is going to be a little bit different today, just because as we started recording tonight, 2 of our mic channels on our normal recording device decided to crap out on us.
Smithies, are they booing me?
No, they're saying boo earns, boo earns.
It was absolutely horrible. So
It was a Chapek level mic error.
that's right. So we are actually doing a throwback to kind of season 1. We're recording in the same way that we did in season 1 with just like a little speaker in the middle of all 4 of us. So if the quality's a little different today, you'll know why. We're working on trying to figure out what we can do going forward without having to invest a ton of money in a solution. So yeah, thank you for your patience with us, and let us know if this is really hard to listen to. Second thing, book club, Candace.
Yes.
When is the book club conversation, and when do I need to start reading the book?
Well, you probably need to start reading it as soon as possible. We have scheduled the 26th of June for our discussion, and once again, we'll be doing that at around 7 o'clock Central Time. We will send out an invitation, and we're going to do another live.
Okay.
With that. So.
And what is the book that we're reading this time?
Yes, as a reminder, we are reading Dream It, Do It. It is Marty Sklar's story. That's Sklar. He's one of the probably most famous Imagineers. There are many of them, but he's one of the top ones. So it's his story with his experience with the Walt Disney Company.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that conversation. And I'm going to use my long weekend this weekend to start reading the book.
If you have Hoopla, it is on Hoopla as an ebook, which if you have a library card, Hoopla is free with using your library. So
does it happen to be an audiobook through that?
I looked, and on Hoopla, it is only an ebook, unfortunately.
Okay.
However, I know there is Scribd, and there also is Audible, which we are not sponsored by Audible, but Audible, if you do want to sponsor us, we would be so happy.
We will talk to you.
Yes.
Because we also have an Amazon book club. The Hanging at the Hangar Bar book club is listed on Amazon. So if you need links to the books that we're going to be reading and all that thing, go check us out.
Yes.
So I may try and find the audiobook because I'm a super slow reader and I'm delayed in getting this one done.
It's okay.
Okay, so back to what we decided we wanted to talk about today.
Reimagination.
This all started because of a conversation we had during last week's recording session where we teased potential retheming of Rock and Roller Coaster. And we are thinking that Rock and Roller Coaster needs to be rethemed because Aerosmith is older than dirt.
Stop that.
They're still one of my favorite bands, but they're old.
But that doesn't mean they're older than dirt. Dirt is really, really old. Really old. Drink your bourbon.
Yes, dear.
Darn, you have to drink your bourbon.
Shoot.
So I teased last time that I had an idea for how to retheme or reimagine Rock and Roller Coaster, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to let you ladies talk about how you would retheme it, but since I told you, you can't steal my idea.
Right. So we are talking specifically right now at Rock and Roller Coaster.
At Rock and Roller Coaster, yes.
Okay. Queen.
Why
Yes.
would you choose Queen?
Because their music is amazing. It's super singable. They have several tracks that pretty much everybody knows, and if you don't, you can crawl out of the out from under the rock that's sitting in the dirt that's old.
Yeah.
And learn some music. Good music. But I think it would just be really, really fun. I mean, can you imagine going whipping around to Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes. And I'm loving that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want it to be real.
I can see it being parts of Bohemian Rhapsody, but some of it might be a little slow for a ride that starts from 0 to 60.
Well, that's why you start it in the entrance. Like, start with the pre-show and work forward. Just make it one big long song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't stop me now then.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Because
would
you're
be
having a
song.
good time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. That'd be a good one, too.
Did you know that on Rock and Roller Coaster, they actually, depending on, like, you can get different songs as you go through? It is like Guardians that you get different songs.
I'm happy with the song we got.
Yeah, dude
That's
looks
like
like
my
a lady.
favorite Aerosmith song.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Queen would be good. I'm just challenging you for interesting content in our podcast. But I think Queen would be a good choice if you were going to pick a band.
And they're pretty timeless. I mean,
Yeah.
they carry, just like Aerosmith has
Yeah.
carried.
Mm-hmm.
What about you two? Anything that you've thought of from Rock and Roller Coaster that you'd do to it?
Yes, Queen is one of my favorite bands, so I'm totally on board with that. For a different answer, I guess I would pick Fall Out Boy. They did make a song for a Disney movie, Big Hero 6, Immortals. So they already have, like, you know, a Disney song out there. So I feel like they wouldn't be totally random.
And they're a little more modern.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I didn't want to say relevant because Queen, like you said, is timeless, and I agree. Also inclusive.
Yes.
Freddie, love him.
Yes.
But yeah, just modern would be the perfect word, actually.
Does Fall Out Boy have the span that Queen does as far as audience?
The draw.
No. I don't think so. I mean, they have like a few songs that I feel like everyone knows, like Thanks for the Memories, Sugar We're Going Down are a few, but I mean, you know, Immortals, that's a song from a Disney. I would love to write that ride.
They could just put that song over and over and over and over again.
That would be cool. Turn it into a Baymax ride.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be mad.
Ooh. Like, that would include, like, retheming, not just leaving it on the same track with the same scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you could totally turn it into Baymax,
Baymax.
Big Hero 6.
Mhm.
Especially
Like
because they fly in Big Hero 6, and there's the part that you go upside down. Not saying they have to keep the same track, but I mean, it kind of feels like you're flying
yeah,
a little
put
bit.
it on, like, a...
And
What?
is it Disneyland that's doing San Francisco?
Yeah.
They are.
So they could have that in California, and Baymax could
Be flying around.
sit on Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that would be an interesting way to bring in IP.
Good thought, Lacey.
Yeah,
Good thought.
good thought.
And I'm not even mad about that IP because it makes sense.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Plus, Big Hero 6 isn't overhyped. Like,
Right.
No, it's kind of a sleeper. Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
You will, right?
Yeah.
You'll get there.
As
Yeah.
we're going through the Disney movies, is it Disney Animation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, we'll get to it this year
Eventually.
at some point.
Yeah. Got to start that.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have one, Mariah, or do you want me to jump into mine?
The only one I really thought about was Kiss,
Yeah.
Okay.
because that has a large audience and they're kind of timeless as well,
Mhm.
staying on theme as like rockers,
Like classic rock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
which I feel is a key component to that ride.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
agree.
called Rock and Roller
Yeah,
Coaster.
see?
See what I
But-
did there?
So good.
But yeah, that's all I could think of. Anyways.
Why did I just, when you said Kiss, I just pictured like the 60 mile an hour takeoff, like Gene Simmons with the tongue hanging out
That's exactly what I
and
was
the ride
thinking.
going into his mouth.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
I don't know if I want to go into Gene's mouth.
I know I don't.
Like,
No.
even figuratively or realistically, I
No.
don't want to go in his mouth.
No.
That is so
We're going to
crazy.
have to put like an age limit on that ride now. You must be over the age of 18.
And not easily offended.
Right.
I'm with you though.
Metallica. What about Metallica?
Metallica would be
I
good.
love
I think any of
Metallica.
those classic rock bands would be good.
Even if to go so far as like Def Leppard or something like that. Some of the
Oh, I'd love
Yeah.
Def Leppard.
This wasn't the idea that I came up with, but have it be different bands.
we've talked about that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
have all of those classic
Maybe not.
rock bands and leave it the same track, the same story that you're trying to get through LA to get to the show or whatever, and that pre-show where
Would
Aerosmith
be
talks to
The
you,
band that you're
you
gonna
could just
see.
which band you're going to get in your car.
That, I like that. That's a good
Total
thought.
rewritability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Total rewritability.
So it would be a guess as to who you were going to get in your pre-show.
Uh-huh.
The only time that would kind of suck is when they shut the pre-show down because it's no wait or whatever.
I guess they
but-
can't do that, can they?
Yeah, there's other rides they make you do the pre-show on. Haunted Mansion, the only time they shut down that pre-show was during COVID.
Right. People just need to calm down.
Yeah.
Like,
Spend the 3 minutes
you
in the
will
pre-show.
get to the ride in a minute. Understand the immersion and the story.
Yeah, they're not going to close the doors on you because you're last in line. I
Right.
promise. You will get on that
I
ride.
promise.
Right. Okay, so here's my idea.
Do we need a drum roll or something?
No, I don't think so.
You're
If we do,
sure?
I'll add it in post.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
We are talking classic rock, different songs with an easy retheme. Electric Mayhem, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem's Rock and Roller Coaster.
And for those that don't quite share the same devotion that you do, would you tell us who that is, please?
Everybody shares the same devotion I do.
That's a dangerous thought process, friendo. Let's change that.
Friendo.
So, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem is the house rock band for the Muppets. They do all of the rock music for all the Muppet shows. And they actually, on Disney Plus right now, have a show dedicated to the Electric Mayhem. And it's their journey to doing their first album. And, like, I think that would be awesome because you can do... I've thought about this a lot.
I can tell.
You can do covers, because they do covers of other songs. They also have original Electric Mayhem songs. So, like, when we were talking about all the different bands, you could have Electric Mayhem singing those different... And can you imagine that kickoff, that 60-mile-an-hour kickoff, with Animal just going nuts? Like, drums, 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 boom, boom, you take off. And then it's the music and all of that goes along with it. And then outside, they have their love bus, their VW love bus. How easy would it be to move the Cadillac and replace it with that love bus on the exact same track with the guitar that's out there? Such an easy retheme, brings an underrepresented IP into the parks,
Yes.
and
It's
fits
already
with the
there,
theme
it's
of
just-
Hollywood Studios.
It's just over in Muppet's Courtyard.
Which it's not well cared for over there either.
Right. However, I did hear that construction walls are up over there now, so
They
it's
better not be taking away
Right? That's what I'm
the
saying.
Muppets.
I just have to say that I kind of love that idea, and I will sing props forever for my girl Janice.
For sure.
For sure.
Are you fans of the Electric Mayhem?
I didn't know about them until you brought them up last week. However, as a millennial, okay, this is my thoughts about it. I feel like our society right now is very much about bringing stuff from the past now. Like, my generation is very nostalgic. Like, we love talking about things from the past, right? Yeah. Very
For
nostalgic.
sure.
For sure. And I think that would bring in a lot of people because we're all about, like, look at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. That's the first Mickey and Minnie themed ride at Disney World. I'm not sure if there's one at Disneyland.
There is not.
Same thing.
There is now.
There is now.
World got it first. Land got it.
So I just think, there's never been one before, and there's never been a Muppets ride. I know there's been shows. So I think that would be a perfect reimagining of that ride because it's still Disney. They don't have to worry about copyright. And it would be fun, and it would also kind of make people want to go back and watch Muppet movies and stuff. Like, it would just be a win-win-win all around.
Go back and have people would want to watch the original Muppet Show.
Right.
It'd draw attention to the current Electric Mayhem show that's on Disney Plus, which I think is underrated. I'm a little biased towards the Muppets, but it's a good show.
Yeah, just like kind of not rebranding, but just bringing attention to old stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
it might kind of re-energize Muppets Courtyard and Muppet Vision 3D and some of that area of the park, so it didn't seem so disjointed and like a quote-unquote waste of space.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying it's a waste of space at all. It's one of my favorite areas of that park.
No, she did air quotes during that because that's what a lot of people, I don't know about a lot, but that people out there think.
It's a popular opinion. They're wrong.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so now I can feel like we can move on to the next retheme. And Muppet Courtyard is not a retheme to me, not a reimagine. It's a make things better. Like, update the show, the Muppet Show. It's a good show. Just clean the theater, put new seats in, update the show a little bit maybe. And then instead of Pizza Rizzo being like the puffy pizza, make it a good pizza shop and play into that wedding shop that's up, the wedding reception hall that's up in the second story of Pizza Rizzo.
And have like Swedish Chef doing the cooking.
Yeah, up or there, like he could be standing behind a buffet table going derp, derp, derp as you're getting your food.
Sure.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
You would eat there, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love themed restaurants.
Have Rizzo standing on the table saying, "My mom told me never to eat talking vegetables."
I really don't want rats anywhere close to food. I know he's a Muppet, but I can't.
But it's Pizza Rizzo's. It's his pizza place.
I don't care.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but they need to clean up that area. That, like, the Miss Piggy fountain out front, they need to clean that up a little bit. Just, it feels very neglected right now. It
needs some love.
Yeah.
It needs
and maybe that's what they're doing. If you said they're putting up construction walls around it, maybe they're cleaning it up a little bit.
I hope so.
Because I've not heard about them closing anything down.
No, I haven't either. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's an area that has a lot of history. I mean, it's one of the last things that Jim Henson actually worked on before he passed. So that needs some love. And care.
The last voice of Kermit that was Jim Henson is in that show. So, like, removing that, as much as I'm all about progress, removing that history would be rough.
We're not going to have the progress discussion again.
Yes, dear. Okay. Anything else in Hollywood Studios that you would retheme? I have another one we can jump to, but it's not in Hollywood Studios.
I mean, I feel like the damage has kind of been done because I really, truly do not think that Galaxy's Edge or Toy Story Land really, truly belongs there. Love those lands. They're just kind of oddly placed.
Ish. I think they're changing what Hollywood Studios is. And I think we as Disney fans have to... The word that popped into my head is catch up, but that's not the right word, because that's more negative than I mean it to be. They're changing what Hollywood Studios is to be more of you being immersed in movies instead of it being a working movie studio, which when Hollywood Studios was MGM, it was a working movie studio. You could go in and see people making movies there. There's TV shows that were filmed in MGM. But now they're saying, let's make this a theme park, and you're immersed in the movie. So when you go into Galaxy's Edge or you go into Toy Story Land, you are immersed in the movies. But Disney hasn't invested the right amount of money to do that across the entire park.
Right.
Yet.
Right.
Do
Yeah.
we think that they will rename that park eventually? No. Because that, as a movie buff, I'm a movie nerd. I love, when I'm watching a new movie or a movie that I haven't watched in a while, I love going to IMDb and checking out all the trivia. I love that. So that kind of makes me sad because, I mean, I don't know. I just remember seeing commercials for it on the Disney VHSs for what it used to be, and I thought
It was amazing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing.
And I'm really sad that they're kind of changing that because I like to know about all the work that goes into place.
Mm-hmm.
We went when Disney Springs used to be downtown Disney. We went into one of the stores that had all of the artwork from Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a little section that had the animation kind of.
The cells.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought me back to, I can't remember what movie it was before. It was a VHS tape. And they had a lion sitting in the room and they were all drawing
Mm-hmm.
the lion. However, I know keeping a wild animal indoors that is pretty unsafe and all of that. But that was always cool to me, even as a young child. So
Mm-hmm.
I know, I understand what they're doing, but it still just kind of makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I think they need to reimagine the Echo Lake part of that park where Gertie the dinosaur sits,
Mm-hmm.
and the area with 50s prime time and sci-fi dine-in and that area. Just to, I mean, if they're going to take it back to old Hollywood, they need to take it back to old Hollywood and not leave just these little plops of theming.
Yeah, I love that idea of taking Echo Lake and saying, let's make this true old Hollywood. And then as you branch out from Echo Lake, you're going into the movies.
Right.
And they could even do archways that says something like you're going into this movie, or totally play into you are becoming a part of a story.
Mm-hmm.
That you're leaving this, that could be where you do some of your history,
Mm-hmm.
the different films, some of the animation cells, some of that kind of stuff, the heyday of Hollywood right there in the middle as you come in, the street where you come in, but then everywhere else is going towards the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the television show.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like they do with Magic Kingdom and
the different lands.
The road changes, the music changes,
the smells
change, everything changes. I think that would be an important update.
Yeah.
However, I do know that would take some time, and it's going to take a lot of money. Yeah. Because they have to dig up things like Star Tours,
which they don't really need anymore. It's a people eater is the only reason it's still there.
It's the dumbest thing ever. And they don't need it anymore, but it can't sit where it is.
Right.
It needs to go back to Galaxy's Edge if it's going to be at all.
Yeah, turn that right into something else that's old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. Make that, we've talked, I think, this is going to seem like a flashback to a past episode, I'm sure, but turn that into a Soarin'-type ride over 1930s Hollywood.
Or bring something back like the Great Movie Ride, but put it in that sort of a situation.
Yeah.
The history of Walt and animation. So have a Soarin' ride over starting with Steamboat Willie or even before, have it start over Kansas City, the Laugh-O-Gram films and that kind of thing, and then go in and have it be where, as you're flying around, maybe you're flying into different movies and being a part of those movies like they do with the one in Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Mickey's PhilharMagic, something like that,
Yep.
only have it centered around Walt.
You are an unstoppable good idea machine!
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
I think, you just had
the epiphany.
A spiritual experience.
I did.
With it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Well done.
Do you think Walt Disney Imagineering will pay me?
They should. Josh Tomorrow, hello, sir.
He's not in charge of Walt Disney Imagineering. I
No,
don't know.
he's not, but I know he could get us in touch with the person that is.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. We are talking about his parks.
Right. And also the Indiana Jones thing would have to skedaddle to someplace else. But with that said, they are coming out with another Indiana Jones movie. I kind of think that Indy deserves his own part of the park.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that. I love Indy.
Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of my favorite movies.
It's amazing.
Except for the snakes, but yeah.
If you were going to do that, we're spending a lot of time in Hollywood studios today. Because I think, honestly, that's the park that needs the most work.
Yep.
I have a part in Magic Kingdom. Just wait.
But
Oh, I bet you do.
I do too. That's where my next one is. So, as we are going down Sunset Boulevard, if we're going to stick with that retheming into you're going into the movies,
Yes.
how do we feel about Tower of Terror and like being Muppets as well?
No.
No.
No. No.
Like have it be the same story, the same spookiness,
Nope.
but you have Gonzo
No.
as the person running the elevator.
No.
I'm fine with that.
No.
I
No.
love cross.
No.
What do we want to call it? Cross IP. I love it
Yeah.
when like two things become one. I like
We're
it.
going to talk about this again because apparently we have to have this conversation again. We do not fix things that do not need to be fixed.
Scott's idea.
Maelstrom did not need to be fixed, but instead they throw the trash frozen in there. No.
Frozen.
But if you're going to
Frozen trash.
if you like the idea of saying, hey, you're going to have old Hollywood right here in the middle, and then you're going to move into different movies and TV shows, is that you're just going into TV land back over there if you're going to leave Tower of Terror how it is?
That would be fine.
Like, maybe like the archway you walk through is like walking through a TV.
Yes.
So you're being in the TV, so you're a part of Tower of Terror. Then you have Muppets Mayhem, or the
Whoa.
Mayhem Rock and Roller Coaster. You have the Cars show back there.
Yes.
Put that in the good idea folder.
You could build the facade of the Golden Girls house, which used to be on the back lot
Yeah.
tour anyway, and put that back up again.
Turn it into a restaurant, or
Yep.
like a quick service restaurant. You go into their kitchen where
Cheesecake Kitchen.
you order cheesecake or ice cream, and it's served by somebody that looks like Sophia.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
I need a picture of Lacey's face
What?
right now.
Wait a minute. Yeah, why aren't we working for Disney?
Because Josh Tomorrow won't call me.
How is that not a bad idea?
We're gonna
right
post
there.
this on LinkedIn and tag him
Yeah,
as
we
we're
are.
using his name. Listen for Candace to say your name multiple times in this episode.
We are connected.
I know.
See, Hollywood Studios could be a whole
It could be a whole thing.
nostalgic park full of.
And it could go back to the way that it was.
But
Like, not
you're
back, but...
in the movies,
a modern.
instead of being on a studio, you're in the movies.
Yes, or
in
TV shows.
Yeah.
But it's actually worth going.
Boom.
Yeah. Okay. We have now talked about Hollywood Studios for almost a half an hour.
Well, it needs a lot of help.
It does need a lot of help.
Yeah, it's kind of a hot mess.
We'll probably come back to this park again at some point.
Probably.
But let's move to Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
What needs to be rethemed in Magic Kingdom, Lacey?
I've never been to this area of the park, okay? I've never been to this land. And I don't want to, okay? Sorry, Lariah, I know you love circuses, but I think Storybook Circus, is it Storybook or Storybook?
Storybook.
See,
Storybook.
you don't even know the name.
I don't even know the name. I don't care.
That's how bad it is.
I think it needs a retheme. Circuses have a bad rep, okay? They really do. There's animal cruelty. Yes, I know I'm the vegan of the group, and
I'm with you on this.
yeah, I know all of you are. We don't like harming animals, but I think that is icky. Dumbo can stay, okay? I want to ride Dumbo with you, Candace. I know you said you wanted to ride
I do.
Dumbo.
But he doesn't need his own land.
No. And I don't really have any bright ideas of that. Maybe I don't really know.
I think they should turn it back into Mickey's Toontown Fair like it was.
Wait a minute. I knew Disneyland had Toontown. I did not.
Yes.
All right.
They replaced Mickey's Toontown Fair
with Storybook Circus.
With Storybook Circus.
Who?
I would imagine Bob Chapek had something to do.
I don't think Bob Chapek had anything to do with that.
Damn you.
Because it's been Storybook Circus for longer than he was Parks president.
That doesn't matter.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry.
I don't mind Storybook Circus. Like,
Have you been to it?
Yeah, for what it is, I think it's fine. Like, it's not intended for you to like it. It's
for little
intended
kids.
for
It's like
little
a kid's.
Well, there we go, right there. I'm a
There's a
Disney
splash park.
adult.
Right? The only thing I will say that I really find cool about it and that they really did well with the theming in it is the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different circus animal prints in the cement, and there's also peanuts.
That is
So
cute.
It's adorable.
And they can keep a square of it whenever they redo it. They can
Just put it in a frame and hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need
Or
to
keep it around the Dumbo ride.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Toontown.
Yeah,
I
why
wanna
does
see where
Mickey have
Mickey
to
lives.
spend his day at City Hall? Why can't he be in his house like he used to? And go next door and see Daisy in her house?
That's a valid question.
Was that
Minnie. Sorry.
was
Whoa.
that an improvement to traffic patterns? Like, they wanted to have more to do with the front of the park?
I think so.
So I'm trying to think of why they would have made that shift.
Because, you could go meet Mickey all day long.
Right.
And the other characters all day long. It was no, scheduled meet and greet sort of thing. Because they were all in a tent and they weren't outside and all.
And you could go into Mickey's house, right?
Yes, and Minnie's house.
Mm-hmm.
And they were cute. I've seen
were
pictures.
adorable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. I'm up for retheming it because I have no emotional tie. I don't think it's that bad. We're not the intended audience for it, so I really don't care.
Plus, then you
'Cause
have
whatever
the train
they-
station back there.
Yeah, the only reason I go through it is to get to the train. And
see?
they have one of the better gift shops back there.
They do.
Because parents want
Sorry.
something to do while their kids are playing in the splash pad. No matter what they do at that area, it will always be themed to little kids.
Well, that's fun. Toontown. Little kids
Was-
love that.
The Barnstormer back there when it was Toontown, and Dumbo was back there. They just expanded Dumbo to
Right,
be
they added
two.
another Dumbo.
Right. Okay. Interesting. My Magic Kingdom retheme. They are redoing Splash Mountain
Mm-hmm.
to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic.
Mhm.
We've talked about that a lot, so we won't spend time talking about that. That's a retheme that's happening. But
That's a big butt.
Frontierland, rethemed as America South or New Orleans,
Ooh.
to go kind of along with Tiana's ride. I think you could still make the train the wildest ride in the wilderness, Big Thunder Mountain. Sorry, my brain works in weird ways.
You went like 3.
I got there.
You got there.
Big Thunder Mountain could stay the same
Mm-hmm.
because there's that kind of landscape in that area too. Still kind of frontiersy,
Mm-hmm.
but retheme the restaurants, the architecture, all of that kind of stuff to be more New Orleans-y. Bring in some good jazz music. Heck, if you wanted to bring in some live entertainment, put a preservation hall in. Throw yourself straight into Bourbon Street and straight into New Orleans.
And you could have even a Lewis's Jazz Club.
You could have
Princess
Lewis
in the
playing
Frog.
in Preservation Hall.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. I like this. Wait, is Tom Sawyer's Island back there too?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of that.
You could retheme that.
Yeah,
though.
bye.
See
Make
ya.
that a swamp ride
Gators.
Yeah.
or a swamp walkthrough.
I was just telling Lacey that I actually really enjoy the atmosphere of a swamp,
See?
just
Okay.
not the gators. It's very cool to me because it's creepy and
Yeah. But, I mean,
But
you
yeah.
could have, Ray and his family hanging
Mhm.
out on that island.
Yeah.
And can you imagine how pretty that would be at night with all the fireflies?
Oh
would
my
be so
gosh.
cute.
Yes.
Mhm.
What else would they put on that island if you were going to retheme it swamp-like?
Dr. Facilier,
No.
like a dark themed.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
It'd
Yes!
be a little too freaky, I think, but you could almost do it instead of a swamp, do it like a New Orleans cemetery.
No.
We're forgetting
Mama Odie, hello.
Yes.
You could do Dr. Facilier on one side of the island and Mama Odie on the other and have like a journey to find her.
Yes.
There we go.
Undo the voodoo.
There we go.
We also are forgetting that Rescuers takes place in a swamp.
It sure does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it would be cool to have like a little boat ride or something or I don't know, not a ride, but it could be represented as well because that's an underrated Disney movie.
Well, some sort of like flight ride because of
Orville.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I wonder why they haven't ever put a ride out there. It's a walking path for a reason. Is it just that's what it was originally? They didn't have the money to put a ride on that island, or is
Could
there
also be water table issues. Could
structural?
be not enough space. Could be any number of things. But I love where we're headed with the voodoo sort of
And you know what?
thing.
Ariel has her own kind of area, right? Because we have the ride,
and her meet and greet?
meet and greet, and then we have
Prince Eric's snack shop. There's the map shop. There's that whole little spot right there.
Beast has his own castle. Why can't
Gaston has his own tavern.
Yes. So why can't Tiana and that whole movie have its own little area back there?
Do we know the name of the restaurant Tiana worked in at the beginning of that movie?
Tiana's place. Oh,
No,
in the
at the
beginning.
beginning.
She worked at
Um,
2.
Yeah, she went.
I'm looking it up.
She said, because she's like, good
Goodbye.
night, something, good morning, something.
Yeah.
It's a name. It's
It's like
somebody's
Ed's
name.
and Dukes or something.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Dukes.
but have like a quick service beignet stand.
Yes.
Mhm.
Duke's Cafe.
Mhm.
Okay.
And heck, you like breakfast time you could serve scrambled eggs, some of those kind of things.
No, just
But
beignets
just
all the
have
time.
beignets and
Booze,
chicory
beignet.
coffee for those that like that.
Yes.
Like have a different kind of coffee that you can get than you can get other places.
Yes. Go completely New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my.
I know.
Well, I would spend hours in that
Spend all day.
land. Yes. Yes. And we could, I'm sorry, people who like it, but we could get rid of the shooting little.
Nope.
That's
No?
a Walt, right? A Walt
It is a
original.
Walt thing, and it also holds near and dear.
Can
Yeah.
we retheme it a little
To
bit?
frogs.
Or do we.
The Frog Hunters.
That
Mhm.
I would get behind.
Mhm.
Like getting rid of it completely I wouldn't do, but like
Right.
having to shoot frogs as long as Tiana and Naveen aren't
part of it.
part of it. So you don't have little kids shooting at Tiana. That's sending the wrong message.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hit the
Or
one
like
with the crown.
You lose instantly.
You go to Disney jail.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that. Just make that all New Orleans, food, music, rides.
But family appropriate New Orleans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
During the day.
When the lights come on,
Well,
come
now
on.
that's an excellent point because we're talking as Disney adults here,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and even with the after hours event that we have been to, what would have that been if it would have been a little more grown up?
Yeah.
And I'm
Mhm.
not saying strippers and hookers and all the things.
Oh, come on,
Unfortunately.
Candace.
Yeah. Unfortunately not. Sorry, folks.
Let us have some fun, Candace.
I need to get my beads.
Go to the gift shop.
It's not
Show them your jumblies. Let's see if you can be.
like jumbly.
But no, what would happen if, like, after hours events, they would kind of open it up a little bit and have, like, cocktails and those sorts of
Do
things.
a Mardi Gras type parade.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
You could do those
'Cause
during the
they've got
day
that-
and during
They've
the
got
night.
that path
Yeah.
that goes right through there.
Where is the Country Bears part of Frontierland?
It is.
So they would have to do something with that too.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's bears down in that area somewhere.
Dress them up for
Mardi Gras. Change it to a Mardi Gras themed show and then, like, have Lewis come out.
Leading the band.
Yes.
See,
Yes, and I just showed you that picture of the bear swimming in the ocean.
Yes.
I don't see a problem.
No.
Weren't we just talking about crossing IP?
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Disney can figure this out. There's a lot of smart people that work there. They can take this idea and run with it.
Well, I feel like we're kind of figuring it out.
Hello.
We need their money and their
Right.
willingness to shut down half of the park for the 2 years that it's going to take to build it.
I don't see the problem.
I'm sorry, but if they hype it up enough, people will wait.
They don't even have to hype it up enough. People are like, ooh, something new.
There's a wall.
There's a green wall. I'm going to come to the park every day and take pictures of the green wall.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
would be an awesome part of that park.
I think so.
And actually, if you think about it, it kind of makes the flow of the park a little bit better
Yeah.
because you can go from Adventureland straight into New Orleans, which is an adventure in itself.
Yes.
For certain. Okay. What else do we want to retheme? Those were the two ideas. The two that I've already brought up are the ones I had. Lariah,
Lariah.
are we switching parks or staying in Magic Kingdom?
We are still in Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
So I had this idea in a previous episode, but I really think, number one, it is essential to get rid of the Astro Orbiter. And by doing so, turn that into an observatory. So
Ooh.
kind of like
Of the park.
yeah, because it has that big, beautiful like
View.
tower view, and they're just using it for
To get you sick.
this trap ride.
Yeah.
With sandpaper seats and a stank
The-
elevator.
Yeah, they could be using it to view. It is Tomorrowland, so it's like I don't know. I kind of want to form Epcot a little bit into it, even though I know that's probably a no-no. But like,
it is in Tomorrowland, and I feel like Epcot,
Yeah.
not World Showcase, what am I thinking of?
the land.
No, what is that part?
The front part,
Yeah.
World
Celebration?
Celebration.
And
Yeah.
Tomorrowland, they kind of have similar themes.
Yeah, and it could have like some impacts of to do with the people mover of some sort, like I don't-
Carefully.
yeah, carefully.
Because you do see Epcot when you're going through the People Mover. There's
Yeah.
a model of what Walt saw as Epcot in the People Mover.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be perfect.
Which is tied to the original Carousel of Progress ride.
Yes, it is.
Go back and listen to a previous episode about the Carousel of Progress to learn about that fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. No, I really like that idea. Having it as a more like chill place that people want to go up, view the park, maybe even have some sort of Joffrey's up there or food, like snacks or something, maybe.
Just trying to think of how big you would have to make that to have the number of people.
Reservation only.
Well,
You
I
could put
just
a
think
restaurant up there.
Yeah.
that the Carousel
bar.
of Progress is over there, and there's not a whole lot of people that go on that ride. So I would feel like in Magic Kingdom it wouldn't get the foot traffic that I think it would deserve.
The only thing is
But-
the People Mover's right underneath it.
That's
And that
true.
one does get quite a bit of traffic.
And
That's
I
true.
think Asteroid Orbiter, even though we don't like it, I think it is kind of a
I think it's a rite
popular
of passage.
ride.
Like if you can survive the Stankovator and survive the actual ride itself, you get some badge or sticker or something.
Yeah, bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel
What?
like some people actually like that ride, so I feel. I know. People are crazy.
I think they like the views, but I think it's moving too fast to get any real decent views.
It's you don't even need to say you think it is.
I've never been on it, and I don't plan on it. But yeah, maybe if you turn that in, I like the idea of the observatory, but maybe you put a bar up there.
Yeah.
Like a Tomorrowland bar, and it could be
Like a sky.
Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
yeah, and you could make that. I'm sure that's pretty strong. From having to have a ride that spins up there, you could expand out and make it seat a couple hundred people and do like they do with Oga's Cantina.
Or here's a thought: just make it adults, like 18 and over only. Just
Yeah.
make that a spot for them.
Yeah.
You could do that,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Why would kids want to go up there and look at views anyway? They don't care. They just
But
want to
like
ride rides.
360 views, you could see all of Magic Kingdom. You could see across to the Poly, and you can see Space Mountain. So if you're up above, you're going to be able to see those resorts too. And just imagine the pictures you could take from up there.
You can get a real good view of Contemporary.
Yeah.
'Cause it's right there.
That'd be cool if it was an adult character dining bar with like characters who are, I don't want to say villains, but you know how Captain Jack was like talking about getting drinks and stuff? Maybe some more adult characters up there too to make it a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
appealing.
I like that idea.
Mhm.
I think that's good.
That you could just like sit and chat with too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, have an adult conversation.
And even if it's adults only, I think you'd have people that would go spend their entire day up there if you didn't say, hey, you're time limited
Well,
to 45 minutes or an hour.
just
or
like
whatever.
Oga's.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say earlier is make it like Oga's and make it, you have to have a reservation and it's time limited.
Mhm.
You get a certain amount of time up there, get your pictures in.
But as opposed to the complaints that we've heard about with Oga's, you have good food
Mm-hmm.
and an actual place to sit and not to have to just stand at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And put some sort of a dome or something over it because I would not want to be up there in the middle of the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
it could be like a spinny restaurant.
A slowly spinning restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they used to have down in Kansas City. Like they put on top of hotels sometimes. Those that just slowly rotate. And have all the tables be to the outside and your bar and your kitchen be in the middle that don't rotate. Much like,
Garden Grill.
yeah, Garden Grill.
Okay.
That you're rotating around.
Mm-hmm.
And
That.
that way you get all the views. And maybe your time limit is you get one trip around.
Yeah. And
If
it takes 45 minutes.
30 minutes or 45 minutes to go all the way around, you get one trip around and then you're done.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
That way you always have tables.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes an omni-mover attraction at that point.
Yep.
It's a very slow omni-mover.
As long as you can get up and down out of the Stankovator.
Right.
And it's just drinks and apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not like meals because that would take longer, but
Yeah, like one drink per person or
and an app for the table.
And then yeah.
And you can even like assign a price.
Yeah.
Like if this is the app you want, you get this and 4 drinks or whatever. This is the price you pay. So it's like locked and loaded.
Yeah. Maybe you even pay before you get up there.
This is cool.
I like it. I like where we're going.
Good thought.
Mhm.
Good thought.
I will make every argument to get rid of the Astro Orbiter, so.
Oh, same. Same. Worst decision of our lives that we went on that ride.
Okay. Anywhere else that we want to retheme tonight?
In Magic Kingdom.
Anywhere. We can switch parks. We've done a lot of damage to Hollywood Studios. We've done a lot of damage to Magic Kingdom.
I do have one, but Candace hasn't gone yet.
No, go ahead.
Okay, mine is that Animal Kingdom, I think they don't need to change it completely, but they need to do something about Dino Land, in my opinion. It looks so run down. I know like the theme of it is supposed to be carnival type. Carnival and dinosaur, it makes no sense in my mind at least. And especially with, I haven't been on the ride Dinosaur. But I think if they're really truly going to do a dino theme, it would be cool to make it a little bit more realistic. Have maybe a walkthrough with actual kind of Jurassic Park-y. But I don't know. I just think if they're going to do a dinosaur land, which I think is cool to be in Animal Kingdom because, you know, dinosaurs were real. But have it be a little bit more realistic and not so cheesy, I guess. Even though I love the cheese, but the like spinny dino ride is kind of silly to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that part of that park has struggled from the very beginning. Like when Animal Kingdom opened, it was a place basically for little kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called Camp Mini Mickey.
Camping.
Then that changed to Dino Land, and that whole story. And word on the street, it's in the blue sky right now, but they're talking about retheming it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I like the dinosaur theme. I think that's something that especially little kids love dinosaurs, and it's a good learning opportunity too if you do it the right way. But I just find it odd that they kind of tried to mix dinosaurs with a carnival. Because I like the carnival part with the parking lot, the detail of that. It's really cool. But in my mind, it just seems like two separate things that don't really go together.
I know they wouldn't want to compete with Epcot, but what Animal Kingdom is kind of missing from the Animal Kingdom is an ocean or fish exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So turn that into some sort of Disney Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe if they want it, if heck, we'll throw them a bone. And I know they're just putting in a Moana thing in Epcot, but make it Tafiti.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was part of the Blue Sky
Was
project.
it?
It's Zootopia / Moana are the two themes that they were talking about for.
Like
The
either or?
I think so.
Okay.
I guess I could see Zootopia, but because they went,
They're all animals.
Yeah.
but they went fictional with Pandora,
Mm-hmm.
so they could go fictional with Zootopia as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the advantage to like a Moana or a Tafiti land would be they could do more tropical
It would fit the
birds. They
climate.
could do it fit the climate. They could do like they could build another aquarium,
Mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't have to be to the scale that the one in Epcot is, but they could do a lot with that and put in another water ride that's better than Kali River Rapids. And you're on Moana's canoes
Mm-hmm.
as you're going through this, even if it's a slow-moving, small world type of ride.
Mm-hmm.
Just some sort of a water ride over there would be good.
With the little, what are they called?
Kakamora.
Yeah, instead of the dolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could turn Dinosaur into the fight against Tafiti. Taka, yeah, whatever. Tafiti's the good one.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Candace.
Taka. Like, because that's a rough and tumble ride anyway.
Yeah, but I would want to go on it, and I won't go on Dinosaur.
But they'd probably, I don't know that ride system would work for that kind of a ride. But there's enough they could do
They're
with
Disney.
that
If they
theming.
if it won't work, they make it happen.
Right.
They invent
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, so there's enough they could do with that theming that I think that would be a really cool opportunity as well.
I think it would also be cool to kind of pull in some of the Pacific Islander culture.
Yeah. Which is
And
missing.
just have that whole area like be a celebration of all of that and pull in some of the mythology and the lore and it can have Moana elements to it, but the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's missing from Disney World
It is.
right
Speaking
now.
of
anyway.
inclusion.
Yeah,
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
it's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Dinosaur Land, Dino Land USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I like the story behind that. Hester and
Chester.
Chester and the things that come along with that. I like that they again, it's just another one of those lands that time forgot. It felt kind of forced, and when you go back there, if you don't know the story, it looks lame. It looks like they just didn't know what they were doing
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like they just threw it on top of a parking lot.
Right, because there's not enough story.
You don't see enough of the story to be able to immerse in the story.
Right.
So redo it. It's sort of like going back to Hollywood Studios, the Muppet Courtyard. It feels a little forgotten.
Yeah. And it could be so much better.
Right. Do you think like if they would update it at all, it would be better, or do you think
I think
just
it's past
kinda...
its prime.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they would update it.
For Dino Land.
For Dino
not
Land.
Muppet's Courtyard.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Muppet Courtyard just needs to be updated and freshened up.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would update Dino Land. They have room to add another ride, but I don't know what ride they would add to keep the theme what it is. I think eventually you'll see them close that off and do something completely different, even though it's blue skied now. There may be talk of another ride opening somewhere else. They want another ride to take people before they close down a third of the park for a major refurb and retheme.
Reimagine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's another good one. Candace has one. Is this going to be our last one?
I don't know. So we're still in Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to do Beastly Kingdom.
Which was the original idea for where Pandora is.
Yes.
Beastly Kingdom.
Yes, it was going to be all about mythological creatures like unicorns and dragons and all those kind of wonderful creatures.
So, like, kind of a fairy tale fantasy-ish,
Yeah.
obviously mythical creature, but...
Yeah.
Partner with HBO and turn it into Game of Thrones land.
No.
Well, that would be an adults-only part.
Right.
After hours all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no. But...
You know what, Candace? Not to throw IP in there, because I think that not everything needs to have IP. Have you seen Onward yet?
No, we've not.
It is a fantastic movie, and it is very much like that. Mythical creatures, all of that. And we all know Disney needs IP, which we're not against it. It's just we don't need every little thing. I think all of our favorite rides do not have any IP in them. Spaceship Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted Mansion was a ride before a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates. Living with the Land. Carousel of Progress. No IP. It was original rides, and we love original. However, with the way Disney is going, if they feel the need to include it, I think if they do it in the right way, Onward would be perfect for them to sprinkle a little bit of that in there. But the world of Onward is literally what you're talking about, and it would be awesome. Magical.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, because they already put Expedition Everest in there, and that showcases the Yeti.
Yeah.
So he can make an appearance. I would do a meet and greet with the Yeti.
I bet you would.
I like how Candace doesn't agree. She just says, yeah, I know you would.
Have at it.
You have fun with that.
You almost killed me.
That was Disco Yeti. He's a distant cousin.
Oh, okay. Still no.
No, I love that idea. I
Yes.
think that would be really cool and different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what would we do to Kali River Rapids? You two have not been on that, right? I'm the only one that's been on that.
I have no desire to go on
I
that ride.
don't like river raft rides.
Mm-mm.
They freak me out because I'm always afraid they're going to turn upside down and then I'm going to drown. I've had that fear my whole life.
Well, there's your battle with Tekka.
Oh.
Wrong part of the park, though.
Pick it up and move it. If we're talking about rebuilding New Orleans and all these other things, pick the damn thing up and move it.
Yeah, you totally could do that. Make the boats into canoes and
Huge canoes.
huge canoes.
That would be cool. Kind of like the Splash Mountain
Yeah.
a little bit, but more twisty turny.
And more intense.
Yeah.
And they could like go back to their preservation kind of theme
Mm-hmm.
because they gave up on that
Yes.
because the story was just a little bit too much for people, much like the original story of the safari.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. You'll have to...
Oh, so the quick version is the safari used to be about catching poachers
Oh.
And there was an elephant shooting. And
Oh.
and
Yeah.
an orphaned baby elephant
Yeah.
at the end.
so
It
some
was
changes
only
are really good.
yeah, it was only that for 3 weeks, and then they got feedback that it was too much, so they took it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, I totally agree. Poachers
Mhm.
are bad, but
That's a bit much.
yeah, I don't want to go to Disney and then cry.
On a ride.
We do enough
Yeah.
of that anyway.
Yeah.
We want to cry happy tears, not
Scared.
scared and sad tears.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
need to
God.
find a way to squeeze Mighty Joe Young into Animal Kingdom.
I'm always about that.
Who is Mighty Joe Young?
He's a gorilla. I can't.
I love that movie.
That was one
Is
of
it
our
from Tarzan?
favorite.
No,
No,
it
it's
has
his own movie.
Oh,
Mhm.
It's Charlize Theron and Bill Paxton, and she lives in Africa and takes care of this gorilla named Joe, who is a giant gorilla, but all these poachers are trying to get him, and then this, what do we want to call it, sanctuary type of place wants to take him so that he's safe, and it's kind of like Disney's version of King Kong, so it's very, and Joe is very not aggressive.
right.
Anyways, just off the rails there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
that's
crazy.
completely
Just-
not retheming anymore.
Well, just
No, I love
add him
Joe.
in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay,
Meet and greet.
Yeah,
so
thank
the
you.
only park we haven't picked on is Epcot. anything that and part of the reason for that is they're re-theming and redoing that entire park anyway,
Yeah.
and it's not going to resemble anything like we knew when we go back.
Unfortunately.
Like, it's now 4 different worlds instead of being Future World and World Showcase and whatever. Now it's World Celebration,
World Nature,
World
World
Nature.
Discovery.
World
So
Showcase.
it's not Future World anymore?
It is not.
Oh.
So is that what you would retheme? You'd take it back to Future World?
Yes! Is Epcot, when we go back, is that going to be not my favorite park anymore?
I think it will be. They haven't changed the bones of it that much. It's still based around World Showcase. They've just put in more roller coasters, more IP. They're killing it with IP, and they're trying, like, you can tell it's the second most popular park, and they're trying to find ways to get more people there and give them more to do. So for families, it stays an all-day park.
Because God forbid you should have to learn something.
Here's the thing. Magic Kingdom will always forever be the #1 park. I think we can all agree with that. Because when you watch a Disney movie, is the Epcot ball the beginning scene with a shooting star going over it?
No.
No,
But
it's
maybe
not.
it should be.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there. But it's not. It is a castle. When you go to Disney, if you're only going for 2 days, I'm sorry, if I was only going for 2 days and I had never ever, because when we first went to Disney World, Epcot, I was like, I don't care. Like, I was excited to go, but I was like, I was more excited for Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Okay? It became my favorite park. But when you go, you're going to want to go to Magic Kingdom first. That's the park that the fireworks and all of the Disney princesses, or most of them, and all of that, it's there. And Disney just needs to realize that that will always be their most popular park. And Epcot is a close second. So, just like, it's never going to be on par with it with other people. With me, it is. Animal Kingdom is up there too. But, I mean, if they're trying to compete their parks against each other, that's kind of annoying.
I don't know that they're trying to compete their parks. I think they're just trying to find ways to bring more families into a full day experience in Epcot. Because right now, for the most part, well, previously, 5 years ago, Epcot was a half-day park for families. Because before they change it to Frozen, before they add Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, what do you do with your kids in World Showcase?
That's not my problem.
Exactly. I know it's not, but think about it from Disney's perspective.
I know. Plus,
They're
they
like,
have to thin out the crowds a little bit.
They're trying to your point, Magic Kingdom is so popular that it's always nearing capacity. So they're trying to say, hey, how can we pull more people into Epcot and keep them there so they don't hop into Magic Kingdom and run that to capacity and ruin the experience for people there? How can we pull more people in and have them stay here? So they're doing that by adding Guardians, which is a ride that doesn't fit. Even and I know we love the Universe of Energy ride, but that ride was a kid killer. Like, kids did not want to go on that. Which, not everything has to be about kids, but from a Disney perspective, who gives them the most money?
We do.
The adults.
Well, the adults give the money, but we are 2 people or 4 people going and spending money. Their entire families bringing 6, 8, 12, 16 people that they're trying to figure out a way to keep all 16 of them engaged at Epcot.
Again, not my problem. And we spend a lot of money when we go.
We do.
I have an idea of keeping them away from Magic Kingdom.
Cages?
I do love that idea. Why don't they just turn the castle into a birthday cake again? Simple, easy.
Candace just had a stroke, for everybody that's wondering.
I mean, I think that would be easier than retheming up.
And I just found my episode art for this episode.
Stupid.
And
dare
Candace
you.
literally had a stroke.
How dare you?
Turn the Epcot ball into a birth. Just turn them all into a birthday cake.
Turn all the weenies into birthday cakes.
This will be my last episode of the Hangar Bar Crew. It's been lovely.
Birthday cake castle or retheming Epcot to IPville. Which one?
No.
Yes.
Well, if they want.
No.
I'm just saying.
Oh, goodness.
One is a permanent change, one is a not permanent change.
And one of the worst ideas they've ever had.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I think we're gonna let Candace's stroke be the end of this episode. We appreciate you all listening. If you have ideas for things that they should change around the park, let us know at our social medias what you think they should do. Or if you think we got this one completely wrong and our ideas are just stupid, tell us why. We'd love to interact with you on any of our socials. And just remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And we'll see you real soon.